Hi students, welcome to week 6. This week, of course, is test 2, and we are going to have one more section of content that will be on test 2 before the test 2 review. You'll see that in the week 6 folder. So this section 3.7 will be on the test, so I would like you to pay attention to that, especially understand straight line motion. That comes up again and again in this class, and that will be on the test. So I want you to understand what the velocity function means of a particle that's in a path, which is bouncing back and forth in a straight line. When it's accelerating or speeding up or slowing down. When is it turning, or bouncing back in the other direction? When its velocity goes to 0 and then it picks up speed again. When's it going positive? When's it going negative? That's important to know. So understand that, and there are also other applications. So just understanding in general that the derivative is the rate of change, instantaneous rate of change of any function. And then there's a test 2 checklist. You need to memorize those derivative rules. You won't be given a formula sheet or anything like that. You need to remember the product and quotient rule. You need to remember all the trig derivatives, the inverse trig derivatives, the chain rule, and the derivative of the logarithm, natural logarithm and other bases, and the exponential function, natural exponential, which is base e, or other bases. So you're going to need those, and I'd like you to make sure you review the labs from this unit, because remember, like I've said a couple places, WebAssign doesn't completely prepare you for the test. So those labs are important, the test review is important, looking through the discussion boards is important, not so much to see how someone's done something, but maybe a reply to somebody. Just all those things are going to be in this test 2 preparation folder. So I'm going to go into that. So here's the review and the key. And then I have another file here, a combined derivatives review. And these are problems that I strongly encourage you to do. They're, a combination of, chain rule, product rule, quotient rule. This gives just 5 problems that I strongly encourage you to do. And the key works it out in tortuous detail. And I hope that the key doesn't get too nitty-gritty so that it gets confusing. But I did want to work out step by step why you do what you do. In the past, students have confused the product rule and the chain rule sometimes, because they confuse composite functions, a composition of functions, with products of functions. So this is a pre-calculus, even before then, concept that you need to make sure that you realize when we're talking about the product of functions versus composite functions, which is one function inside the other. Another thing I had noticed is that people will use sometimes the product rule when it's not needed, when one of the factors is a constant. So remember that the constant, you can always factor out a constant when you're taking a derivative. You don't, let's say you have 2x squared. You don't have to use the product rule on the fact because you have a 2 times an x squared. You can just take the derivative of x squared and multiply it by 2. So that's that constant multiple rule. So little things like that. It's not wrong if you want to use the product rule on 2x squared, but it's unnecessary and will waste a lot of time. So you need to just develop a little bit more, maturity in how you approach these things to recognize, I can just drag along that constant. So be able to do these. There's a derivative rules formula sheet, which again you can't take with you, but I'd like you to print it, memorize everything, make sure you have those down cold. The test 2 highlights is a Word document. I try to summarize all the stuff we've done and things that are important for the test or that people have problems with, or basically kind of some of the stuff I'm saying in this video, but more. So and it's telling you what's going to be on the test, so please look at that. And then another thing I did was I collected the week 4 and 5 discussion boards into one PDF so they're easier to go through. because Blackboard's not very friendly about going through the discussion boards. I think it's really clunky. So that's something else I put in this test 2 prep. So again, test 2 opens Thursday through through Monday. The ELTC is not open on Sunday. Allow 100 minutes. Bring a scientific non-graphing calculator. Register for it in Register Blast. I wanted to also tell you that the quizzes from WebAssign Quiz 2, I did put in the gradebook. So anyway, good luck on the test. You can still come see me about test 1. Come see me about anything. More people have been doing Ask My Teacher on WebAssign, so that's a good thing. Or just email me to ask a question. And please try to devote the time that you need to do well on this test. And good luck on this test. I will talk to you soon.